To you. This is Business Daily coming to you live on Trust TV, and here we bring you up to speed with trends in the Nigerian business space as well as the global economy, and we are definitely set to do just that in today's edition of the program. My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Let's start off as usual by bringing to you major stories that have made the headlines this morning. So take a listen. And those were the top this hour. Away from that now, let's take a look at how the equities market ended Tuesday's trading session, where again we did see the best dominate the market, down by 0.4%, with the all-share index at 97,473.98. We have within the NGX with the market at 55.1 trillion naira and the volume of trade at 305.688 million, while the trade hit 5.508 billion naira, and the deals that we did see about 7,948 in total. Well, away from that now, let's take a look at trading, where let's top the gainers chart. But let's go on a short break. When we and going on now, let's take a look at the top gainers from Tuesday's trading, where we did see Learn Africa top that chart up by 10.00%, going for 3.63 naira per share price. And Tantalizers is also on the gainers chart as well, up by 10.00%, going for 55 kobo per share price, while MC Nichols is also on the gainers chart, up by 9.89%, going for 1 naira per share price. And now to the bottom losers, where in total we saw 20 losers against 22 gainers from Tuesday, with Dangote Sugar topping the bottom loser, down by 10.00%, going for 40 naira 50 kobo per share price, well, down by 10.00%, going for 2 naira 25 kobo per share price. And now to the top trades and market movers, where we look at the stocks that recorded the most volume of trade from Tuesday, with Access Holdings topping the chart at 33.2 million shares. Ganji Trust Holding following closely at 32.3 million shares, while Nigerian Breweries is right there as well at 27.5 million shares. And now to the different sectors within the NGX and just how well they performed on Tuesday, with the NGX banking ending in the bearish sentiment, down by 1.02%. NGX industrial ending in the bullish, up by 0.02%. NGX consumer goods ending also in the bearish, down by 0.29%. NGX oil and gas remained unchanged, like we've seen happen a lot lately with the NGX insurance. We also did see the Ghanaian Stock Exchange end in the bullish sentiment as well, up by 1.65%, going for 3,744.35. Meanwhile, the Nairobi Securities Exchange ended in the bearish sentiment, down by 0.49% at 108.96. Well, there you have it, a review of the major markets, starting from here in Nigeria, that is the NGX, and how the NGX fared during yesterday's trade, ending Tuesday's trading in the bearish sentiment, down by about 1%. We also did see the market in Ghana, South Africa, as well as in Kenya. But away from that now, we did see the Securities and Exchange Commission and the EFCC come together yesterday to collaborate and vow to, trample or mitigate Forex trading manipulations within the virtual space. I am now joined by my guest, who is an investment analyst, Nwachukwu, to discuss on this collaboration. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for joining us on Business Daily.
Always my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you again. Let us just start off with, the collaboration that we did see yesterday between the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, two major powerhouses there coming together to, fight, or do I say mitigate, when it comes to Forex issues of Forex manipulations, especially in the virtual space. How do you see this collaboration, affecting the Forex trading landscape and also investors' confidence?
Yes, how do I see it? I see it from this perspective that collaboration, coordination, and joint ventures are key to a successful policy implementation of any administration. So I see it from that point of view that collaboration, coordination is key for successful policy implementation. So from that perspective, it's quite okay to hear that EFCC and Securities and Exchange Commission is collaborating to make sure that they write off or read off these individuals that perhaps is bent on sabotaging our Forex market. So it's a quite good collaboration. But be it as it may, I think most Nigerians will rather need or will rather want to see much more collaboration with EFCC and that is Nigerian Petroleum NNPC and the Federal Inland Revenue. Nigerians expected or would rather see a collaboration from these two main revenue generating agencies of government, that is NNPC and the Federal Inland Revenue. This is where the as economic saboteurs are those who are involved in crude oil theft, and those who are also there to circumvent and bypass that we cannot see the required revenues that government needed. So we need more of such collaboration. Like I said, it's good that SEC and EFCC is collaborating to curb these very individuals who are involved in currency racketeering, round tripping, or even in manipulation of our currency in the virtual space. So, but like I said, more collaboration is more needed in the big criminals. So collaboration, would need to see collaboration from EFCC and the Nigerian Petroleum PLC. Such collaboration is needed most than that of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you. Thank you.
Steve, calling for even more collaboration between the EFCC and other revenue-generating agencies of government. Well, there is still more to come, as the conversation today will be particularly on the Nigerian Forex space. We also did hear from the BDCs in Nigeria, where they are talking to, problems around systemic liquidity challenges and policy timing issues. All of these will be discussed on today's edition of the program. Stephen Nwachukwu is still on standby, so do stay while we go on a short break. And you're still watching Business Daily, coming to you live on Trust TV. And just before the break, we started a conversation on a recent collaboration that was witnessed yesterday between the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission towards, mitigating Forex trading manipulations, especially on the virtual space. And my guest, who is an investment analyst, Steve Nwachukwu, is still on standby. Thank you again, Mr. Steve, for joining us on Business Daily.
For having me.
Thank you. Let's move on, still within the collaboration that we started a conversation on. One of the major areas that was highlighted in that meeting was, collaborating towards fighting, combating especially illegal trading that has happened a lot recently in the area of peer-to-peer transactions that are, usually go on online. And the Securities and Exchange Commission talked particularly about that area and how, there needs to be some form of regulation around that. But let us hear from you now. Speaking of policies that could be, targeted at the P2P transaction area, what would your advice be, or what should we anticipate should be implemented in that area?
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, it's quite difficult to speak on this area in the sense that we are talking about a decentralized system, a system where you cannot directly pin to a particular section, a particular point, or a particular activity. So it's like a wave. So I think EFCC and the Securities and Exchange Commission needs to do a lot of innovative thinking, a lot of innovative policies that could continue to mitigate this very individual. Remember, it takes something that is done in the visual world, and most of the developers or most of those platforms are not domiciled in Nigeria, so they continue on day-to-day, week by week, on the checks of these individuals who bent on manipulating our currency for their financial gains and the rest. So I think they need to continue to put up policies like the CBN have resisted every transaction, banning banks for not allowing or opening account that is related to cryptocurrency trading, and Securities and Exchange Commission trying to develop framework or policies around how to mitigate or manage these individuals, or even classify them by giving them some level of registration so that you can actually monitor them. But like I said, it's quite a difficult terrain to manage because it takes a decentralized platform they operate on. So that should be some level of innovative, definitely mitigate them. For now, there are stringent measures, like I know for sure that you cannot walk down to a financial bank to open an account that relate to cryptocurrency. It is a measure. The CBN, SEC, and EFCC also need to collaborate further to trace other activities that seems like they are trying to bypass the existing process, existing rules that have been set by CBN against open account that is related to cryptocurrency trading or cryptocurrency activities and the rest. So I think they need to keep their eyes on the system and watch characters and transactions that seem similar to suggest that, yes, this is a crypto or this is a transaction that tends towards supporting these activities that seems to be sabotaging. But I know for sure that it's not every individual that plays in this very space that could be criminalized, that is involved in sabotaging or manipulating our currency. Government of government like EFCC and the regulator, Securities and Exchange Commission, need to dig deep. They need to do forensic investigation to directly pin down these parties involved in pure manipulation of our currency. I think there are few of them. It's not like all these young $100, $200, or $10,000 trading in cryptocurrency, because it's a platform where you can have fluctuation of price to make your gain. So it's not actually to let naira. But these very few individuals who are involved in this criminal act need to be EFCC and Securities and Exchange Commission can deploy to recruiting the likes of them that can give them hints about these activities. That will be good. I think that is innovative. They should not just work alone. They should work in that collaboration they have started. Collaboration and Securities and Exchange Commission, even recruiting individuals involved in cryptocurrency activity.
Especially, like you pointed out, these transactions are decentralized. They are also, done on a blockchain with little to no tracing done. But the question now is, you have said it is difficult, but is it impossible? We seem to have lost our guest right there. But while we try to have him rejoin us, okay, I believe he's back now with us. Mr. Steve, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, the question I asked you was, you spoke to how, decentralized these transactions are, especially speaking of the peer-to-peer transactions. They are done on a blockchain with little to no tracing to be carried out. But the question now is, we have all admitted to the fact that it is difficult, but is it impossible to, trace these transactions, being the fact that they are decentralized, like you've pointed out?
Difficult. It's a question of compromise. Put to it. You can, like I said, individuals, particularly, like I said, it is in the of our currency.
We seem to have lost Stephen Nwachukwu again, but while we try again to have him rejoin us, the conversation is on the collaboration that we did witness between the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission yesterday, speaking particularly about, mitigating Forex trading manipulations within the virtual space. But I believe Stephen Nwachukwu is now back with us. Can you continue with your thoughts, Mr. Nwachukwu?
Yes, if you can hear me, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, like I was saying, there's nothing that stops the EFCC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, getting these individuals, a few individuals that are trade or that participate in this very blockchain or the cryptocurrency space, to also be part of the investigation to trace these very criminals. So I think it will be the best way of reaching out or getting to the root of these few individuals, like I keep using emphasis, few individuals who are involved in manipulating our currency. Recruit the same individuals that are involved, that are doing it. Perhaps, like we have the ethical hackers. You can get those ethical hackers to assist you to be able to trace this individual. That it is decentralized does not mean that you cannot trace transactions. You can still trace transactions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Steve, quickly now, let us hear your thoughts on the allegations coming from BDC operators, where they have come out to talk about, the insufficient Forex allocation that has been witnessed in recent times, talking about having bidded for Forex, but are still yet to receive their monies, and issues around, systemic liquidity challenges and policy timing issues. What are your thoughts on these allegations that are coming from BDC operators in Nigeria?
That cannot be, overlooked in the sense that there is always this administrative lapses. It happens when you have multiple people to serve, and you can have some omissions, you can have some shortages, and they will blow it out of proportion. Yes, it's also good. It's also possible that we can have second assumption to that possibly there is liquidity crunch, that is lesser forex within the purview of the CBN to supply to this individual, causing these very delays. But the truth remains that we need to have some level of patience with CBN. And CBN, I'm sure, is doing it best to make sure that this forex is available to these BDCs. I know for sure once the CBN has the sufficient forex, they don't even need to supply to the BDCs. They just made it available to the entire market, and Nigerians will have it. Rationalizing it, giving it to BDCs is actually to curb this very excessive demand. Unfortunately, we are the cause of it because we allow the BDCs, the unofficial market, to be the sole determinant of our rates. The activities that goes on there, it should not be said is inconsequential. They are consequential because whatever happens at the parallel market affects the official window. So I know for sure that CBN is doing their best to make sure they meet these very obligations of supplies to these BDC. So I would rather urge the BDC operators to be patient. Yes, it's good to voice out where perhaps you've paid for over 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks and you needed to have your allocation and you have not received. But I know for sure it can be far from the liquidity or shortfalls of Forex, having in mind that our crude oil production dropped from somewhere around 1.4 million barrels per day to about 1.2 million barrels. So I think that is possible the reason why we are having these shortages. And we believe that government from the fiscal side will do all its best to attract this forex that we needed to cushion or support the economy by making forex available to those who genuinely need it. So for the BDCs, they should be patient with CBN, that CBN is doing all their best, and them also should find other ways to attract forex as is done in other clients. In other clients, no CBN supplied forex to BDC. But because we have fed these BDCs, we have overfed them and we have corrupted the system that they are the one controlling the price. And when you want to manage a price, you need to supply to them. Unfortunately, that's the situation we are. Like I said, in other clients, no CBN supplies dollar to BTC. They go on their own in alternate measures to source and get forex to serve or to service their clients.
Well
so they should also apply.
Well said, Mr. Steve. Thank you very much for your insight on the program today.
Always my pleasure. Thank you.
This is where we say our goodbyes on today's edition of Business Daily, coming to you on Trust TV. But join the conversation on social media and let us hear your thoughts on the discourse of today. My name is Chiamaka Enendo. Thank you for watching and bye for now.